tracking food intake.
So point number one, calories in versus calories out. So at the end of the day, where you have your nutrition on point and you're training every single day of the week, it's going to come down to calories in versus calories out. So if you're eating more food than you're burning, you're just not going to lose your weight. And that's what happens to a lot of people. They can be perfect Monday to Friday and just let themselves go a bit at the weekend, and they don't realise how much they are overeating, and on a weekly average then they're taking in more than they're burning.
So what we do here for clients is we would get their maintenance calories. That's the calories they need to eat to stay the same weight, and from there we create a little bit of a deficit, so they eat a little bit less, and then they can, obviously, if the goal is to lose weight, that objective will happen. So from there, how we calculate that is their total daily energy expenditure, and you set that figure, find that figure first. That's to do with their activity level, their age, their weight, their height, and then from that figure, and anybody can get this figure because you can get all these calculators online, but they only give you a very, very prox figure. But we look at it in a little bit more detail to kind of find where they need to be, and then we create a little bit of a deficit. So that's kind of where you need to be, guys. When you're tracking, you need to know your total daily energy expenditure first.
And that comes down to, you see a lot of people, they come in and be like, oh, my friend is on 1900 or 2000 calories and they're losing a pile of weight, they're getting very lean, but they're not taking into consideration the lifestyle factors, how active they are on a day-to-day basis, either in work or outside of work. So it's going to come down to the individual, yourself, and your social life, family life and work life, and all these different factors. That brings on to point number 3 then, it's MyFitnessPal. So in the world of technology, this is probably the best thing you can use to track your food. And like the last point, if you have any problems or you're overwhelmed, ask a friend or get someone to coach you on how to use it, because it might seem overwhelming at the start, but once you understand how to use it, it's just the easiest thing ever. So you can get your calorie figure, and you can get your proteins, fats and carbs, and you can just make sure you're staying within that and hitting your numbers on each day.
Yeah, and on MyFitnessPal as well, like Vinny was saying, it's a brilliant tool for tracking. It's a free tool for tracking. The one thing I would advise some people is, the most important thing, and Vinny picked up on this point, is that what your friend is on is totally different to what you should be on. There's a lot of people out there talking about nutrition and coaching nutrition when they're not fully qualified, and that's why you pay a professional to do it. That's why we take pride in when we're coaching people in nutrition, we are qualified to do that. So we will look at the full picture of the person's lifestyle, and then we will set their macros accordingly, which brings us on to point number 4. If you're using MyFitnessPal and you have your figure set already on your calories, the next step would be to break down your proteins, your fats and your carbs. So you have a protein where you would hit a standard protein figure, maybe between 1.2, 1.8 grams per kilo, for instance, depending on the person, again, depending on the individual person. And then from that, the remainder of calories is going to come from fats and carbs. And that is perfect when you're using MyFitnessPal. The one aspect of MyFitnessPal you can do and spend that little bit extra on is going for the premium version, where you can actually set the grams of your carbs, proteins and fats to exactly what you're doing. And I find that makes that a little bit easier for people, but that's going to cost you about €40–45 per year, but it's well worth the investment there.
And just the bonus point is just kind of tying everything in together. What's not measured can't be managed. So you can be in the healthiest diet in the world and you can be training 3 or 4 times a week, but if you're not measuring your output or you're measuring your input with food, you're just not going to get the results, and it's not going to be optimal for you. So literally with everything, you have to take into consideration like the food you're eating, how active you are in your job outside of work. So someone sitting in an office 9 to 5 is going to be a lot different to someone who is out on a construction site 5 or 6 days a week. So it's coming down to tracking it. And like that, like the MyFitnessPal, it could be difficult for the first week or 2 weeks, but when you get into the habit and you start seeing results, then you just find out how easy it is, and how just once you're doing the simple things right, you can get great results.
And like the cliche goes, you can't out-train a bad diet. So it doesn't matter how many times you come into the gym or how many times you go do your cardio walk or go for runs every week. If you are taking in excess calories, more than you are burning, you are going to stay the same weight, or for most people they're going to gain weight. So that's really important when it comes down to here. You have to measure what comes in, and that's why can't stress enough getting the advice of a professional coach to set up that for you and get you on the right road, individual to you. And the reason that people ask us why we're so successful in our transformations and all the people we work with is because we have the education behind us, and when we look at the person, we're not just picking a figure from the sky. We're actually looking at their whole daily lifestyle, weekly lifestyle, their stress, we'd say their digestive system, their gut. We're looking at all these factors and taking that into account when we're setting macros for people. So that's where, when somebody comes in, that's where you're getting results, and that's why people are going to lose weight, and they're going to lose it in the right way, and they're going to have a good frame of mind. They're going to feel like they have loads of energy, and they're going to enjoy their training, and then they know when they come into the gym to train that they're going to be on the right path, and they're actually training for a purpose. Yes, I am moving closer to my goal of maybe losing weight or whatever.
Exactly, like someone could tell you at the start the foods to eat and what you should eat, and it might work for you initially, but if you don't understand what you're eating and how it's working like that, it's not going to work long term. So it's important about learning on all these different aspects.
And in today's society, everybody's an expert. That's the problem. So just be careful on that. This is very, very simple stuff, but it has to be individual to you. That's the most important. Like, we've broken this down fairly straightforward. What you can do is track your own calories coming in. But just figuring out these figures is important to get a trained professional on that, and that's why it's important to get that started right from the start. Okay guys, if you like what you hear, you'll find us on peakperformanceplanning.com. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and you'll also find us on our YouTube channels. If anybody would have any questions or want any help with nutrition or training, please don't hesitate to contact us. We would love to help you. Thanks for listening.